Buying a pH meter and monitoring pH, I found improved my beer no end. Hello brewers, and welcome back to another video. I thought I'd do a video on my top 5 tips that I've learned over the years. Things that I found that have improved my homebrew the most. I wrote a list of them down, and there's so many of them, and it was quite hard to put a list together of the top 5. But I think I've got there. I guess on a countdown from 5 to 1, 1 being the one I feel like is the most improved, made the most improvements, with 5 being the least, but still quite important. So number 5 would be the process. I've written process over recipe. Understanding the process from start to finish. And rather than worrying about recipe, worry about the process, mastering that process so it's repeatable again and again and again. Doing the same recipe again and again and again. Being able to repeat the same beer again will allow you to I feel, to make better beer over time. That enables you to master the process, understand what the pH is, understand what the gravity is at the certain points in the process, and if it's not the same, figuring out why it's not the same every time. Number 4 would be brewing software. I personally use Beersmith, and I find it very, very good. Putting the recipes into the software, understanding the IBUs, understanding the SRMs, understanding all of those numbers, understanding the sulfate to chloride ratio, things like that, that the software can do for you. The software can generate you water profiles. The software can help you understand the water from generating water profiles. You can keep a log of what you've done. You can write notes. You can write tasting notes. You can look back to a beer you did 6 months ago and look at the tasting notes and understand and say, well, it was overly bitter. Look at the recipe. Oh, well, the IBUs was a little bit high, so maybe we drop the IBUs down. You can develop your beers and create better recipes by using the software and keep a log. So I found once I got onto software, and there's lots of them out there, Brewfather. I can't think of the top of my head right now, but I've extensively used Beersmith and I found it invaluable to the process. Number 3, get it right. Number 3, pH. Buying a pH meter, looking after a pH meter, calibrating a pH meter, calibrate your pH meter every time you use it. And understanding pH throughout the process, not just in the mash, at the end of the boil and during fermentation. There's a lot of information about there how pH affects flavour. Certain pHs will emphasise hoppiness or bitterness, and certain pHs will emphasise maltiness. Understand what the pH needs to be of the mash for your beer. Everyone knows the 5.2, 5.4, 5.6 sort of range of mash pH that you need to be in, but different beers need to be in that range. So, for example, a hop forward beer, you're probably looking more bitter hop forward beer. You're probably looking down on the lower end of the 5.2 range, whereas a malty beer, a stout, or something like that, you're probably looking at going to the higher end of that range. And that all translates through to the final pH of the beer. Probably do some videos on the pH of beer later on, but buying a pH meter and monitoring pH, I found improved my beer no end. Number 2, diacetyl testing. we've all done that. We've all watched the bubbler. The bubbler's not bubbling anymore. We're getting no more CO2 produced. We do a gravity sample. Yep, it's 10:10. Do a gravity sample the next day. It's 10:10 again. Yep, she's finished. She's good. She's finished fermentation. She probably hasn't. Until I started doing diacetyl tests, I didn't even know what diacetyl was. There was this flavour in the beer, and it turns out it was diacetyl. Now, everyone sort of says a buttery flavour, a buttery smell, and quite frankly, I mean, butter on things has a flavour, but if you taste butter on its own, it's pretty bland, really. Even the smell of butter. What I liken diacetyl to is butterscotch, or if you're here in the UK, go and buy some Angel Delight, you know, that pre-mixed packet stuff. Angel Delight butterscotch pudding. I think it sort of makes like this sort of foamy kind of a pudding-based thing, and that's what I like. That's what I liken diacetyl to, is that butterscotch kind of Werther's Originals. If you're in the UK, that is what I detect when I detect diacetyl. So doing diacetyl tests, again, I'll probably do a video on doing a diacetyl test. Doing a diacetyl test and a diacetyl rest, if required, at the end of fermentation, drastically increased the quality of my beers. The diacetyl issue went away, and just doing that test massively increased the quality, I feel, of my beers. And the number one, the most important thing I can recommend is fermentation temperature control. Keeping that temperature in the right range for the yeast is so important. It avoids all the yeast off flavours that can be created, ensures the yeast is healthy, ensures the yeast is doing a thing at its temperature. Now, whether you want to do it at a higher temperature and produce more esters, for example, it is a massive thing that it contributes to the flavour and outcome of your beer. So temperature control of fermentation, I find, is, in my view, the number one important thing as a home brewer that you can do with the biggest results. Now, how you do that temperature control, there's various methods. As you can see here, I've got these homemade jackets as such, with these coils of PVC around and a glycol cooler. That's the nth degree. I've just gone all out and I just enjoy doing this stuff. So you don't have to do that. Just get yourself a fridge and an Inkbird. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, I've picked up fridges for 20, 30 quid. As long as you've got a space to put it, get a fridge, get yourself an Inkbird, very easy to set up. Get the Inkbird into the fridge, controlling that temperature. Get the Inkbird temperature sensor in the beer if you can. Rather than controlling the temperature of the fridge, control the temperature of the beer inside. But controlling the temperature will have and I feel, the greatest effect on the quality of your beer. Now, there are lots of other things I've got on my list here to improve your beer, but that's what I've round down, is this sort of from the beginner stage moving on. Those are the 5 things to really concentrate. I would love to hear everyone's comments on what you think. Please comment below on what you think are your top 5. And maybe we can put a video together of everybody's ideas of the top 5 things to improve your beer. I'll probably expand this and do a top 10 as well. But guys, if you're watching, if you've made it this far through the video, thank you very much. Can I just ask you to like and subscribe? That enables me to grow the channel. That enables YouTube to know that people are liking the videos, and it'll get it out there more, so more people can see these videos. So do us a favour, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. More than happy to respond to everybody down there in the comments. More videos coming soon, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon. See ya!